It's your boy Superman 2000 coming from the fight here. I told you before that the UFC was for sale. The UFC just sold for $4 billion. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. The news just came out a while ago, and the New York Times just published the article. Dana White and Lorenzo came out, did a press conference, did interviews, told everybody that the UFC was not for sale. They're not selling it and they own it. But turns out they're liars. See, I never believed Dana White from the get go. And you can't trust these guys. They're just like super slimy. And here it is that the New York Times says that the UFC has been sold for $4 billion to WME and IMG, a group of private equity backers. Apparently, they have the money. They want to buy the UFC, and they're buying the UFC. In my opinion, they overpaid. $4 billion is too much. I don't see the valuation there, but I guess their goal is trying to long term to recoup. But I just don't see the value there because Bellator is giving away the main events for free the next day on the internet. So it's kind of like, I mean, it's a no brainer. Why pay for UFC when I can get the Bellator for free? And the quality of Bellator is getting better and better. But nonetheless, I said I'm probably the first guy on YouTube to break the news 2 o'clock in the morning. This is what happens when you eat and sleep fight, man. I'm the first. I'm so excited. And by the way, I believe Slam X 1976 has made it home safely. So hats off to you, bro. Hope you enjoy your trip. Good to have you back home. Good to have you back on the tube. But glad you made it home safely. No, Lorenzo and Dana said they would sue anybody in the media that said that the UFC was for sale. Well, guess what? Here it is that the UFC just sold, so they're gonna sue to the New York Times now. So all along while the deal was being negotiated, the reason why they were trying to get people not to talk about the UFC being for sale is simple. They didn't want the press and what the news say to affect the organization. Because as an employee, you know the company is gonna go for sale. You know when a new firm acquires your firm, there's gonna be layoffs. They might be layoffs. They might consolidate positions. When I was at Morgan Stanley and Smith Barney acquired Morgan Stanley, some of the top managers were Smith Barney Morgan Stanley deal. Some of the top managers were laid off, right? Because they had people on both sides who do whatever. So when so the employees were probably thinking, hey, I need to brush up my resume, and the bad press was affecting the organization internally. So they figure, hey, let's try and put the fire out. But in the meantime, they're lying through their teeth. They never had to lie. They could have told the people, hey, listen, UFC is up for sale, and it is what it is. This is why I just don't. It's like everything they do, they have to do in some kind of secret, shrouded cloud, unnecessary cloak, and this is not necessary. If you're selling your business, you're selling your business. I mean, it's your business to sell now. It's your business to sell whenever you want to sell it. But don't try and hide the facts and then threaten the news media. Come on, please. But nonetheless, a sucker is born every minute. And I think that whoever paid the $4 billion, they're a bunch of suckers. I wouldn't do it. I take my $4 billion and buy stock in Viacom and diversify my risk. I wouldn't waste my money like that. But hey, it is what it is. All right, guys, that's my 2 cents from the fight here. So the UFC just sold for $4 billion. I'm the first to break the news. Dana White's probably gonna be a very, very filthy rich man. Right now, he's probably going out of his mind, excited. Lorenzo Ferta, he's gonna be a filthy rich man too. And Flash Media in Dubai, they're gonna be like filthy rich because they're gonna get like 20% of that something billion. And any rumors you guys had about Conor McGregor having equity in the new organization, put that out to your mind. His two little pennies that he's rubbing together can't even buy him a seat on the floor underneath the table of this deal. He can't even come to the table. He doesn't have the money to come to the table, so he's not even involved in that. So if I bought this $4 billion that acquired the organization outright, I think Dana White and Lorenzo are gonna stay on to manage the fighters and run the day to day of the organization. As time go by, as I get more information, I'll let you guys know. But otherwise, Peace out from the fight chair. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, like I said before. I'm going to bed. This is what happens when you eat, sleep, and drink fighting. I'm the first to break the news on YouTube, and I'm loving it. Peace out, guys.